in that aspect, it kind of made it even harder to make friends because you can't even see people's faces and you're not even right next to them. You have to like pretty much scream across the room to be able to talk to anybody. But I feel like in a way, since we were also all going through that together, it was something that everyone was able to kind of like bond and talk about. I'm Roesch, and this is my advice. I'm 19 years old. I'm a sophomore at Penn State Altoona campus. And I'd like to give advice to those going to college from high school. The first piece of advice that I want to give is having friends. And it's important to keep high school friends while you're in college because you already have a relationship with them. And it's a very easy support system as long as you're able to stay in touch with them. Sometimes it can be hard to maintain your high school friends just because of the distance and also like having busy schedules, because even with my friends that are only like an hour or two away, they have their own completely different college class schedule than I do. So at times I'd be able to talk, maybe they wouldn't be able to, and they're going out and doing things with their new friends. I'm going out doing things with my new friends. So it gets kind of hard to keep that relationship if you don't make effort to, oh, at this time every day, like maybe we could FaceTime or call on the phone or something to keep ourselves updated throughout the week as to what's going on. These are friends that you'll be able to have for your whole entire life as long as you put in the effort to continue to see them while you're in different places. A lot of my friends went to different colleges, so I have to wait until like spring break and Christmas break to be able to see them, but whenever they do come home, we always make it a point for all of us to get together. That is one of the things that I look forward to most throughout my college semesters, is for them to end so then I can see my friends from high school. But it's also important to make friends in college because a lot of the people there are experiencing the exact same thing that you are, and they don't have any friends either because a lot of them just moved from wherever they've been their whole lives and are experiencing a whole new thing just like you are. I feel like whenever I started to feel comfortable at college, it was after I had made some friends in my classes and like opened up, started talking to people after classes were over or before classes started, and kind of made those relationships. So I kind of just wasn't sitting in class like by myself, silent, waiting for the class to start. Like after finally talking and opening up and becoming friends with people that you pretty much spend the majority of college with, because a lot of your classes, if you're the same major as these people, you're going to be taking the same classes as them, and so like with them until you graduate. So like I have a friend named Mary, and her and I didn't have like the same classes my first year, but even just this year, her and I sat beside each other in our chemistry class. I don't remember exactly how it happened, but one of us said something about a homework assignment, and then I was like, yeah, I don't really get that. And she was like, yeah, me neither. And then we started texting, we were talking about it, and then eventually once we felt more comfortable with each other, we started going to the library and like doing all these assignments together rather than like suffering doing them apart. We're both able to grow not only our friendship that way, but also like how well we're doing in the class. And so I feel like just making that initial step to talk to people before class starts or after class ends is what really makes college more comfortable, because you don't have to sit there alone, quiet, just waiting for the professor. Everyone else is doing the same thing, so you might as well enjoy your time while you're doing it. My second piece of advice pertains to professors and having a close relationship to one or two of them, especially ones that teach classes that you're taking, because being able to have a strong connection with someone that is in the field of your interest can allow for a lot of opportunities that you wouldn't normally get without them. I do research at Penn State Altoona, and this is something that I would have never gotten into if it weren't to having a close relationship with one of my chemistry professors. The third piece of advice that I want to give is studying in the library. Throughout high school, whenever I would study or do my homework, I'd do it laying in my bed, and I feel like a lot of the time I was unmotivated and I'd just get really tired. But being able to go to the library, especially with a few of your friends, is very motivating because you're able to bounce ideas off of one another and being able to be in that productive environment where everyone's being quiet and everyone's concentrated just really makes you want to work harder and get your work done instead of being like, oh, I'll just take a break, like watch part of my show, and then I'll get back to it later. For my fourth piece of advice, it would be taking your time between classes and making it useful to you. A lot of the times between my classes, I have about like 30 minutes, and if the weather's really nice, then I'll go out on walks, just get my steps in before my next class, because it's nice to be able to be out in the fresh air after concentrating for so long the past hour and just being able to unwind. And a lot of my other friends, for our biology class, we have like these little 5-minute quizzes, and between their classes, they'll be like, okay, I'm just gonna get this done real quick. And so if you make that time useful to you, even though it's only a little bit of time, you can get a lot of little things crossed off your list, or you can just get some physical activity in. But you just have to make it beneficial to you instead of just sitting around waiting. And then my last piece of advice is getting a good night's sleep, because a lot of my classes are 8 a.m.s, but a lot of my classes also don't even start until later in the evening. So being able to get a good night's rest will allow for me to still feel energetic by the time I'm in my last classes, to be able to really focus and memorize the information that I'm learning that's gonna involve my future career.
If we knew then all that we know now, I think the world would be better somehow.